Patrick Bet David is taking heat right now on the internet for platforming the main war criminal himself, the prime minister of my country, Benjamin Netanyahu, which let's just ignore every other actual war criminal in the Middle East, but we'll focus on the one who leads the only semi-democracy that exists in the region. Yes, war criminal. I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your favorite Zionist prince, white colonizer. Let's take a look at this clip.
Born in 78. The Shah was leading Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. And when you look at the stats from 1941 when he took office to 1979, that 38 years that he was in, not a lot of wars, it was fairly peaceful. You have some numbers on the low end.
Oh, what happened? And we fixed it.
In 78, the Shah was leading Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. And when you look at the stats from 1941 when he took office to 1979, that 38 years that he was in, not a lot of wars, it was fairly peaceful. You have some numbers on the low end of 17,000 people that died due to war in Iran during that 38 years. High numbers, 50,000. In the Middle East, not as chaotic. Of course, there was issues, but not as much as they have now. Then from 1979, Khomeini comes in, IRGC, which I had the former founder of IRGC here. We had a conversation with him. Khomeini comes in 79. From 79 till today, if you look at the numbers, low end, 600,000 people died in Iran, 2 million people. In the Middle East, 4.5 to 5.5 million people have died. Of course, some of the words are different places, but still, when you go back to Iran, you have Houthis, you have all these other things that they control. How much do you think of what the Middle East was like pre the Islamic Revolutionary Guard took over? How everybody was able to find a way to get along versus what happened after 79? I know you're a big history person. What is the difference between those two eras?
Well, the big difference is the Islamist revolution that basically took these very gifted people. The Iranian people are enormously gifted. First of all, they have a tremendous historic culture, and you won't be surprised, but maybe your listeners would be surprised that in antiquity, in the time of the great Persian king Cyrus, there was a honeymoon between the Jews and the Persian people. And that relationship actually continued in modest ways, but in significant ways under the Shah. When the Shah went down and these theological thugs took over Iran, they basically said, our goal, that's in their constitution, is to export the Islamic revolution worldwide.
Correct.
And that's what they proceeded to do. So all the mineral resources, all the economic resources were now tuned to war. In the time that when I was finance minister and till today, Iran at that time and Israel had roughly the same GDP per capita. Ours went up from $17,000 to $60,000 per capita, and theirs stayed flat. Why? Because they took all that money, all that money to arm Hezbollah, arm Hamas, arm the Houthis, and pervade terror around the globe, not only in the Middle East, against the Arabs, against Israel, against everyone else, against Americans. So, what has happened is that Iran collapsed economically. They have now infrastructure that is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Their water system is depleted.
Destroyed.
Their dams are empty. Their rivers are drying up because they don't take care of their
lakes.
people. They just, this is a horrible sect. So I gave, in this room where I was sitting a few days ago, I gave a podcast to the Iranian people, which I do from time to time. And I had a glass of water and, a pitcher of water. Mm-hmm. And I said, we helped Iran and we're ready to help Iran with its water problems. And when you free yourselves of this tyranny, we'll do it again. Now, Patrick, how many views do you think I got for this this podcast?
How many?
It's a video, actually. How many?
How many?
70 million.
From
now,
Iran?
Iran has about 50 million, we
wow.
think. So it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half the population. And you can tell that it hit a nerve because all the Iranian leadership proceeded to respond to it and to attack it and so on, which tells you it really got to them. And that's in fact what is happening. This regime is not only tormenting and executing and killing the people of Iran, they subjugate them, but they seek to subjugate the entire world in their mad fantasies, the Muslim world and then everyone else. And of course, we're not Muslims, so we have to be eliminated because we stand in their way of conquering the entire Middle East. So Israel is fighting here not only our war, but the war of our Arab neighbors, the war of the Western countries. They're developing now ballistic missiles that can reach deep into the heart of Europe. Their plan is to develop, the next thing is an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile that will reach 8,000 kilometers. You add another 3,000 and they can reach New York. Where are you broadcasting from, by the way?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, they can reach Florida, Fort Lauderdale, New York, Washington, Boston, and after that, any other city in the United States. And they intend to put nuclear warheads on these ballistic missiles. So this is a fact. And the main fact that I want to say is that we're fighting in many ways the war of the West, the war of Western civilization against these barbarians. And our victory will be your victory. And one more thing. You talked about the Iranian Revolution. You remember how it started? You remember what the first thing that they did when they took over Tehran?
You talking about the toast with Carter, or are you talking about after when they took over?
Well, they took over, and then they took the American embassy and held some 50 hostages.
My aunt was in the embassy. Absolutely, yes.
So this regime began by taking hostages. And what do their proxies do today? They take our hostages for extortion. They take our hostages. I liberated 205 out of 255. We still have at least 20 alive and about 30 dead, and we intend to get all of them. And that's what we're fighting for now. But it just tells you what the nature of this regime and its proxies is. It's anti-West, anti-America, anti-Western civilization. It's not good to be a Christian. It's very bad to be a Jew in Iran. And it's very bad to be either one of those in any part of Iran's proxies.
Right. I wish we had a couple hours to talk about Iran because I have a lot of interest in that topic with you. So if you like this clip and you want to watch the entire interview,
I mean, listen, I don't know why he's getting.
You want to ask me directly.
Why Patrick is getting so much flack for making this clip? To be honest with you, it's very, very weird. He's getting so much flack all over Twitter, all over the internet for platforming Benjamin Netanyahu. Everyone's going crazy. Can't believe he interviewed Netanyahu. I also believe that Benjamin Netanyahu. There's another clip here. Let's look at it just briefly. This is only a 1-minute clip. This is something big that happened during the podcast, I believe, for the first time.
Challenge I personally have. My audience is not going to be that interested in this story except for people from my community. The Holocaust has been recognized by 193 different countries, right? Everybody around the world. And in some countries, if you deny it, you could do jail time. Many countries, you can do jail time a year or 5 years. But for anybody that doesn't recognize Armenian Assyrian genocide, if there's any country that I would have expected to be on the list that recognized the Armenian and the Assyrian and the Greek genocide, it would be Israel. Why haven't you yet recognized the Armenian, Assyrian, and the Greek genocide that the Turkish did to that community?
In fact, I think we have, because I think the Knesset passed a resolution to that effect.
I don't know if it's come from you, though. I don't know if it's come from the Prime Minister of Israel.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right. Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. That's important to me. And I'm sure a lot of Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks around the world appreciate you saying that. So if you like this clip.
Listen, it's a complicated topic. I was just in Armenia. I know I haven't released any content from there yet because I've actually been it's complicated. I was in Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia, and I had conversations with the locals on the ground there about Israel. And it's really a problem with us. It's a very big issue. We have very deep cultural ties with Azerbaijan, who have very deep cultural ties with Turkey, who deny the Armenian genocide outright. I think the Azerbaijanis don't necessarily, but the Turkish pretty much do. And then the Georgians, we have great political and sort of tourist connections with them. They come to us, we go to them. And then with Armenia, we see a lot of kinship. We have a whole Armenian community in Israel. We see a lot of kinship with them through that joint suffering that they've kind of been like the Jews of the Caucasus region. And they've been really hurt and damaged by a lot of people. And we see a lot of similarities to their strife. This is very, very complicated. But I don't really understand why Patrick Bet David is getting so much flack. I saw people saying, how could you platform a genocideer? How could you platform somebody who's committing a genocide? Let's just say Benjamin Netanyahu was committing a genocide. The worst fucking genocide in the history of humanity. But let's just say he was committing a genocide. Let's say it for a second. Would you guys not go batshit crazy if he, I don't know, if Patrick Bet-David had Xi Jinping on? Or Vladimir Putin? Or Kim Jong-un? Would you guys not go buck wild? Would you guys not all go like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. That's the truth. And that's why Patrick Bet-David is awesome, because he brings these people on. Would you guys not do exactly that? Sorry, you would. You would do you'd fucking fanboy, and you'd grift, and you'd fucking simp for Vladimir Putin on Patrick Bet-David. That's exactly what you would do. I know you. It's exactly what you would do. Come on, we all know that's what you would do. You don't like Benjamin Netanyahu because he's Jewish. That's your problem. Just say it outright, though. Like, you guys would have either no problem or be supportive of him having otherworldly. If he had Zelensky on, you guys would freak out. And most of the woke right sort of hate Zelensky now. You guys would fucking go buck wild if he had Nasrallah on, if he had Khomeini on. You guys would go fucking crazy. You'd be like, that's the truth. And they're all committing genocides. Like, every single one of them is committing... genocide is obviously taking a new definition since October 7th. It's reformatted to just mean killing people. It doesn't have to have intent or what. It's about people die. It's a genocide now. So, like, all of those people commit genocides far worse than Israel has ever even come close to doing at any time. You guys wouldn't say shit. So, I don't understand. I don't know. My 2 cents on it. I thought it was a totally normal sort of like baseline. It kind of be like a boring interview. See you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.